seeing so many first-time politicians and officials here. I just want to start off by thanking Jimmy for the opportunity to speak tonight, for Nicole, Rachel for organizing the event, Anthony Tolby for his great rendition at the beginning of this.
Thank you.
I too, I'm not a career politician. I've actually spent the last 15 years working for global banks, mushing global teams and leaders to a common cause. But I was really compelled to run when I just saw the condition of my neighborhood, and there was an incident. My mother was actually followed home after a doctor's appointment. She was leaving the subway station, and a homeless man followed her about 4 or 5 blocks, screaming obscenities and just being a real jerk. Fortunately, my father was there to intervene before anything bad happened, before she arrived home. But not many are fortunate to have that intervention, right? And these types of scenes happen across our city on a daily basis. So that moment remains with me today as I take on the current councilwoman who has promised the community the world, but effectively has transformed our community into a dumping ground. The 38th district actually spans Red Hook, Sunset Park, Diker. So welcome to my district. We have the second highest count of migrant beds in the city. She's ensuring that these facilities are crammed into our neighborhood. I don't know if the other day you guys heard that they closed down the Roosevelt Hotel.
Yeah, they opened 3 small ones.
So what they didn't mention is that they are going to open up a migrant shelter in my community, right, in Steve Chan's district as well, right? So they left that part out. She's hosted trainings for migrants to teach them how to sue their employers, or pretty much anybody, to get legal status. I don't know if you guys know, but if a migrant has an open case, it prevents them from being deported until the case actually carries out. So, yeah, it's disgraceful. Imagine that, an American elected official teaching foreigners how to weaponize our own legal system against us. It's disgraceful, it's treasonous.
Guantanamo Bay.
The other side, right? You bring up these issues and they call you a racist, right, for bringing it up. But the reality is, I've had Spanish-speaking Guatemalan Mexican store owners coming to me to complain about the Mexican and Guatemalan migrants selling illegally in front of their store. It's not a question about race, it's a question about the law, it's a question about public safety, it's a question about fairness. Ironically, many of the same migrants she's housing are actually escaping the failures of socialism in Venezuela.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. We at the end of it, we have to stop taxpayer waste. The Democrats are pissing away billions of dollars in your taxpayer dollar every year. Do you guys know why you have to pay for congestion pricing? Back in 2021, they actually opened Grand Central Madison. It was the culmination of the East Side Access Project, where they spent $11 billion to lay 2 miles of track to bring LIRR trains into Grand Central Station. It's the most expensive mile per rail mile in history. As of 2023, they average about 88,000 riders per day. If you do the math, that comes to 125 grand per commuter. I'm sorry, but they could walk a couple of blocks to get to the east side for that money. Right? So they have the money for these nonsense projects, but they don't have the money to extend the 2nd Avenue line into Harlem. They don't have the money to create the Interborough Express that are going to help communities of color. They don't have money for this. And it's a shame. And at the end of the day, you look at Donald Trump's election. Donald Trump won communities of color by margins not seen in a generation, right? So a lot of communities of color are seeing through this, right? They're seeing that they're not getting the fair shake, right? So we have to deliver on that. I plan to deliver on that. They just spent $500 million in our district to create the Bush Terminal on the waterfront. This is a new campus of targeting green industries and artisans and creators and the like. First of all, green industry doesn't want to come to New York City. You made it too expensive for them to operate. The margins are too low. They're not going to show up. They want to create the space for creators and artisans. We don't need any more influencers, any more creators. We need HVAC technicians. We need plumbers. We need electricians. Part of my campaign, part of my platform will be to identify these do-nothing nonprofits, to identify these wasteful projects, and to put an end to it. We need to reinvest in our youth. We need to prepare them for the economy of tomorrow. History shows us that whenever our youth have too much time, when they're not employed, it's a recipe for social unrest, right? All you have to do is look at the Arab Spring as an example of that, right? So we need to stop all this nonsense spending, reinvest it in our communities. You know, I don't want you to support me because the other candidates are so terrible, but they really are. I want your support because of the strength of my ideas and my relentless pursuit in the goals. With your full support, I know we can win in November.